There to contest him just yet. I wonder if there's a flank drone to spot him as he does this.
I've got to ask the early question about Leon as well. Why is there a Pulse getting so aggressive against Kanto as he's pushing his way up yellow? Like, you're looking towards the Pulse cardiac sensor to be used later in the round to do some damage. Speaking of damage, that's 2 kills now on the top floor against Rogue. Quite a bit of aggression being shown. And normally you'll see teams dial back after the minute and a half mark. Rogue have lost 2, and yes, sure, burnt through 2 minutes. But on G2 side, I think they'll be feeling pretty confident about this as long as they can play the dancing game with these C4s. And speaking of which, one does connect, bringing down Kayak. Not an operator you'll be too upset to lose at this point, I think, as now we're starting to look at the site. That Evil Eye being removed should remove pretty much all information now coming out for the side of Rogue on site as well. So for G2, this should be as easy as taking candy from a baby. Let's see how things step up.
Well, speaking of, those pings are raining out here. Citizen, he had all of the intel he needed, but it'll be Uno to take out Aces. That's the Malusi done and dusted. No C4s, no plant denial left. It's going to be up to the Elder and the Vector. Rips and Corey, 10 seconds left. Plant begins and Citizen runs in from behind. He deals with them both swiftly, and they will go down here in an almost flawless round from G2. Absolutely know this. They know how many they've zapped off, and they know it's just going to have to be a Hail Mary onto side.
It is, and at this point, they're going to have to make something happen. They've got players playing out towards the east. They've got Uno coming down Spiral, so he can just play here and try and cut the rotate back to site potentially. If he can get a couple of kills while the other members of G2 force them outside of server, that could be kills going back their way. And you can see now as the pincer starts to come in, but Leon is going to find Citizen. Not a trade that we thought we'd see coming through, given how Citizen did back in round number 1 with the 3K on side. And with that being cleared out, they might actually be able to rotate back to site here, no worries. And for G2, 20 seconds to go. Now you need to pull the trigger. You gotta make it happen. One goes the way of Uno, but rips straight there to trade it back. This is clean and clinical from Rogue. They have dealt with this excellently, blocking the hard breach, stopping the push from the backside coming in. They're gonna fall to their deaths. Kayak, the last man left alive. A clean round for Rogue. We've got a game on our hands, Jess. The amount of time that it's taking here, like, sure, they've got that media control. Yeah. Finally, they're inside it. I was gonna say, a minute and a half in, still having not pushed the defenders back. Kind of surprised. And if I were Rogue here, maybe you're thinking about dialing back to site here. You know, a cat's got 9 lives. Crying has got 2 apparently. Down to about 10 HP. And here's Corey in close and connector. Can't quite win that one, Uno. And that's going to be a great opening kill.
I mean, you don't expect the player to be proning on the middle of the ground. Kayak does, though, as he attempts to make a bit of an impact onto him upside down, repelling on connector window. And that's the trade, albeit late. And that's going to be Kayak to be able to even the number count here. Although I will say Cryin is incredibly low and Leon Gids will go down. Kanto on Spiral stairs. It doesn't even look like they need that vertical control at all here, Des. They want to make their impression over towards Spiral. And, well, it'd be all up to Rips, who's in bathroom now, to be able to counter it. I know Aces is quite lit up as well over towards the bomb. If they can get him off, then it's going to be an easy ingress onto that lobby side.
I think they were just trying to flush them downstairs for the most part with the top floor control they've got. You can see Virtue above, making sure there's enough coverage once that diffuser's going down. But Ace is holding pretty tight here. If he can find himself a kill, this could be beautiful. He sees the man, but backs away. How on earth is the man inside the lobby not seeing that he's here as well? I think they should now know that Ace is holding close. He finds one, swings for the planting. They knew he was here. Sledge looks straight at him and he's managed to pull away from it too. 2 versus 2, 3 seconds to go. G2 have whiffed this one away, but Ace is with the hero play. He's going to ensure that Rogue walk away with round number 3. Not playing C4 to playing C4.
Well, on this particular site, it is a necessity. Most teams will plant Intellers, and considering the explosion radius changes, what, a year or so ago, that is really, really important. We've seen this C4 work time and time again, and it will work again. But you know what else is working in the background? A plant from Kayak. He'll bait it out because he desperately wants all of those C4s aforementioned to come raining out. If you can bait them all out, when you actually go for the real plant, nothing is there to stop you. He'll now hold the angle towards Spiral. He knows someone wants to peek up against him. Look at all of those vertical holes. Leon, he's going to be able to paint a very clear picture with yellow pings as to where Kayak is. He'll run on in. The only place you can play it without being C4, but it doesn't matter. Because when you have the angle like Leon does with the UMP, things will work. And now all he needs to do is scan out this player. But Citizen, Kanto, they've all run below. They've made the difference. It's up to Aces, but he's missed. He's going to have to hit every shot, and yes, he does!
But he's got to be able to bring the whole thing back by himself. Swings round and managed to stop it out. My word, that one came close. But for them, they know it's a win that was so sorely needed. Now we're into a spot where things are looking spicy. My concern is they haven't got any smokes to go for a plant here. Interestingly, haven't yet seen Ace come out of them at all.
That's something that a lot of teams are used to using those smokes, etc. But you know what Aces is used to using? That SMG-11, and
oh boy,
he'll take out Uno, who is attempting to get some of that vertical control. Plant does go off, and the EMP will rain in just in case there's anything there to stop them. No, just as that C4 was thrown, they'll get taken out, and Kayak says, get off the plant, boys. We need to make a difference, but guess who's lurking on the yellow stairs? It's Leon Gids. He can hear the plant going out, so he'll kill the cover first. Behind the white fan, but Kayak says, I'm going to get off the plant again. 3 times off the plant, baby. And not only can he be the best support player G2 need, but he can be the fragger when he has.
And does balance the books a little bit. 4 versus 4 with 60 seconds left to play. And we're seeing some vertical control coming through for what feels like the first time for G2.
You're talking about vertical control, but look what Corey has. He has flank control here. That's an easy one onto Kayak. He was attempting to open up the hatch and onto the site. He'll get a double for the trouble. And now Corey getting that flank in hand means that Citizen needs to try and get the trade. Unfortunately, 2 members fall on the side of G2 and it's done serious damage. But the wall is opened up. It is Citizen and Virtue left. They're going up against a mirror window, multiple different Maestro cams that I don't believe they've dealt with because all of those those soft breaches with those impacts, etc. They didn't deal with them earlier on enough. So with 20 seconds left here, they're going to try and deal with them with the grenades remaining. But I tell you what, there is no chance of a plant here.
I mean, he's just burnt his last EMP straight into an ADS without realizing it, as you probably gather from the screen shake, which means they can't clear out the gadgets that are present at this point. That's going to be slightly worrying. They're just going to have to go for it right now. Guys, there's no time left. Start the plan, start the count. They can't get it through. Rogue went out on time on this one again because of this aggressive Rogue.
That are thinking about bringing it. Speaking of bringing it, where's the firepower? Where's the gusto here, Rogue? You've wasted half the round here and you've run on into kitchen. Hello, where's the drones?
I mean, there was one that Kayak was trying to fight, so they knew he was here. Just must be poor coordination for a second in terms of callouts. Fortunately, Citizen doesn't go down. Not Citizen, sorry. It was Leon who got inside on the Twitch of all things as well. Hoping to do work with the F2, but not to happen. Now we really see this kill feed starting to light up as it turns blue. All in favor of G2. 4 versus 2. The Sophia and the Iana, the last ones left alive. Nothing but a couple of impacts. The Gemini clone to make use of here. They've got no drones left, and I get the feeling, Jess, this round should be going down the pan.
Well, I'm not going to say much about it because I don't want to curse G2 here. We said that they needed to recollect a few of those rounds, and as that Mozzie drone will rightly spot out the last remaining Rogue players, that's when Rips will fall, and is going to be the Yana here. Not going to have the ARX in hand. Instead, going to opt for the magazine with the more bullets, and that might work out in Krein's favor here. With only 15 seconds left, hey, who knows? He could hit the 4 best headshots of his life. Instead, he's going to sit and hold and play time, give the team a bit of a breather here, because when you are 2 rounds ahead, now only 1 round ahead, you don't want to let this kind of lead slip, because we know exactly what happens when teams slowly fall and another team gains momentum. So for G2, this bodes really well, but Leon Gids on the buck, he's hoping to change that outcome, change fate, if he has anything to say about it.
And it's a starting kill, and it's onto the 0 as well. So that intel, of course, being taken off the board, which you would have relied on quite heavily with that and the Iana being the kind of guiding light. But a grenade comes singing in onto Kanto. A couple of seconds before, we heard another C4 come out as well. Now there's only going to be 1 left. Rips pricking 1 back up. And like that, in the space of 7 seconds, Rogue have swung the round back in their favor. So much so, they're now going for a plant. And they know the lesson. You smoke out anti, you stop them pushing into you. And Aces will get away with this and get himself back outside the map. We know just how difficult these retakes can be, Jess. Consulate is one of the worst maps for retakes in the game.
Well, considering that every attacker, I should say, could just rappel outside, go these long angles if they so choose. Remember when we saw, I believe it was Joystick, get a clutch on this map post-plant. Now it's up to Virtue and Uno. They can paint their names in history here on this map with a great little retake. They'll kick it off, but now it's only up to Uno. He's got the shotgun and the SMG, and he only gets a DBNO onto Cryon, who finishes him off. And that's going to be a good round here for Rogue, because what looked dire to begin with.
Out the other, and now they'll get a crouch wall open up to the right. May even try and get the full wall opened up if it plays out. Another one comes through. What a great grenade. Just sings in out of nowhere, and now you're seeing the value of a Jaeger or a Wamai, because these grenades can sing in all day long. And guess what, Jess? They've still got 2 smokes to play with if they want them as well. Great start to the round coming out for Rogue for what looked like initially a really difficult setup. We saw just how hard it was for Empire to get the CC wall open on Club. It just didn't play out for them without the Thatcher. Kills going back and forth. Aces stepping in for the plant. You got Citizen trying to push his way in, down past security, but nothing is really coming out so far. In fact, it's into a 2 versus 2. They have somewhat recovered this, but Citizen and Uno have got to go big. They've got vertical control here, I believe, on one side, and there he is again with one coming out. 2 versus 1. Have G2 managed to swing this round, or can Corey hold firm and bring this all the way? If he wants to, he's got a couple of cameras he can still make use of, but the plan right now for Citizen is to make this a 2v1 truly once again. Now they've got to deal with the man outside. Do they challenge this and go for the defuse, or do they risk trying to stick the defuse whilst one man looks for the angle? Either way, it's going to get tense. They've got about 5 seconds. I think they've left it a little bit too late in this case. In fact, no, they're going to try and stick. Corey, now's your time to go, buddy. There's a man outside. Kills one. You've got to hit him. He's come off the diffuser. Why's he come off the diffuser?
Why did he get it?
That's it.
Why did he get it?
Got the whole way.
They're going to be sitting there wondering whether or not they've got the mentality that it takes to win this round on a site that is an off-site for many.
The plant's already going down. No one's dead,
What?
and the plant is getting committed here. Aces has just snaked his way in. Do they not know? Kayak, where are you, buddy? You're in Narnia while the plant's going down. They've got away with that one, snaked it out from underneath G2. This could be another catastrophic round unless they can recover. Kanto starts the effort, but Leon had already found Virtue just a second before. There's got to be some recovery. The vertical angle being found. It's a 3 versus 2. Aces rips, crying. They've done it at this point, Jess, I think. They've held on. Kanto's got to pull off a mammoth play. He's got 2 kills to find and 13 seconds to get down for the defuse, but Aces has just snaked his way inside of the site, got the plant down, and G2, you can't say they feel robbed, because it's been a long time coming with how this map has played out. It's going to be Rogue defeating G2, securing a top 4 spot and pretty much knocking them out of the top 4.